15 to 30 years, we're going to have to climb up that Nebraska has.
Yeah.
Which is hard to imagine that.
Yeah, yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah, that's the thing. And again, it's the kind of thing, we do know that there's a whole lot more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere than there was, 100 years ago. And, it's the balance of things. Something's got to change to make that adjustment. But again, I'm probably not even qualified to talk too much about that, other than what I know from my colleagues. And yep, sure. Back here. Oh. They are. And, that... Yeah. It is, yeah. And Aiken County has done a study to see what they could qualify for in terms of carbon credits. So far, they haven't entered in it because I think it doesn't pay enough right now to justify the change in management that would be required to qualify for the credits. I'm not sure where they're at in terms of, I don't know if they can qualify for credits or not, but actually they're doing a lot of the research behind it. They're putting out models that allow people to predict forest growth that would then allow them to say how much, carbon can my forest sequester. So their models would probably be used in any regulatory scheme that was out there.
My question was, you said that Europe didn't like the forestry option. Why would that be?
Yeah, well, I guess it goes back to this point that was made that they'd rather see people lower the emissions rather than grow trees to offset the emissions. So, and that's a real valid argument, and it's part of the discussion. So, but you can, trees are one way to do it. We kind of look at that as an opportunity if we want to do better forest management and get more trees on the ground and reward some good management. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
How are the carbon limits set for various industries? Is there some formula or way they can do it? Is it arbitrary or?
No, there'd be a formula. It's based on limits of probably what that industry should be able to emit. They're going to give some free credits to some of these industries to start the market, and that's what they did in Europe too.
Who determines that? What they should be emitting or what they can be?
Yeah, it'd be probably likely the EPA, someone like that. That already, they're regulating all the other emissions from these industries. Yeah. Yeah, so they give that baseline. Then if they go over that, then they pay, for the credits. And if they go under it, they can sell credits to another industry. Yeah, that's exactly the way they do it. Yeah, so that price is going to fluctuate on a daily basis, and so they hold them, and it's actually the aggregators that would sell your credits at a certain point in time, and on a periodic basis. So when you sign up for the carbon credits, you don't get one price that applies for the next 10 years. Those credits would be paid on an annual basis probably, and at the market rate at that point in time. One thing about the market right now, if you look at, they have future prices, and the future prices on the European market are higher than the prices today. So they are expecting, some movement upwards in those markets too. I don't know that there's actually a stock. It's more that these aggregators are selling them in that market, so there is a market price, a published price, that actually can go to the Chicago Climate Exchange, and they have the current price every day.
Are there any rules of thumb comparisons available, like how many billions of trees you have to plant to offset the carbon emissions of coal-fueled power plants?
There are some estimates of that. I don't know them offhand, but and that's actually a good point, because if we look at what we call terrestrial carbon sequestration, trees sequestering carbon, That's, it's really what they say, a slice of the pie. We could never address the whole issue with our trees. It's just one of the things. This geologic sequestration is another. Actually reducing emissions is another. Conservation is huge. If we could conserve more energy, that would have a very large impact on the carbon in the atmosphere. So it's not one thing or another that's going to do it all. Yeah, we'd have to probably forest the U.S. To make. Yeah, you're right, exactly. Back here.
What percent of the carbon is emitted by automobiles?
I don't know, to be honest. That's,
It's a large percentage, if I remember.
Uh-huh.
Power plant.
yeah. Good question. I'll have to look that up. But that's where, they say even, a gain in 5 miles per gallon would be huge in terms of addressing the issue. Mileage, yeah.
I guess first a comment to support some of the, I am concerned about the big money polluters really buying themselves out of possibility of continuing
Yeah.
to pollute. Other than that, I got another question, just getting it back down to those of us here.
Yeah.
Individual monitors, which is not better than the other one. For about 25, 30 years, I had a hunting camp in Minnesota, about 87 acres. I had a forest management plan when I did small plot cutting.
Sure.
I can see, if I was looking to make a bump or something, maybe in the future of selling that carbon, whatever, that would have a possibility of working out. With the age and distance and everything else, more recently, about 7 years ago, I sold that and I only got a 2-acre plot and it was some dollars on the lake shore. Obviously, the 2 acres, trying to sell some of this stuff off of that 2 acres would not mean much to me
Yeah,
as far as financials.
sure.
But I guess my thought is that there's many of us here that have the smaller parcels like that on the lake shore rather than the large acres. And somehow you could put those all together.
Yeah.
One positive group, it's probably several thousands of acres.
Yeah.
Sitting out there on these lakeshore properties. I guess for one, for myself, if this association would want to take something like that, I don't want to make that work.
Yeah.
Donate my 2 acres worth of value on that carbon to this organization to help fund it or something like that. Might be, is that possible that you could put something like that together?
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. I mean, you'd have to look at the costs of that and what you'd get the returns, but yeah. And that's really what an aggregator is. You just get that up to the point where you have enough to sell, and you do it. So, I mean, if you'd probably need to find a forester to work with you, but if you could do that. And the Chicago Climate Exchange has done some of that now on smaller acreages. I think going back to that first point, it's important. One of the things that is often really referred to when we talk about cap and trade is sulfur dioxide. And we've done a great job in this country of bringing down the sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere, and it was through a cap and trade program. And what happens is that it gets to a point where these companies can't afford to pay to emit because the price is too high. And some of these are companies that might have facilities that are old. They don't want to quite make that investment yet to change to a new system. But if they're paying these carbon credits, it gets to the point, well, yeah, we got to make that change. Now we're going to put in a new system. They're going to look for a system that's going to get them out of that market. And that has happened with sulfur dioxide. It's kind of the example put out. Yeah. Other questions? Or? Great. Well, thanks for the great questions.